cello students. So today we're going to take a look at 3 different scales. So the first scale you already know, the D major scale. Now we're going to take a look at these with the key signatures. So you'll notice the 2 sharps because we have F sharp and C sharp in the key of D major. So as we go up, you want to make sure that you sharp the F and you sharp the C, and you're going all the way from lower D all the way up to the higher D, and then all the way back down again if you're practicing it in that way. Now the next scale we're going to look at is the G major scale. We talked a little bit about this when we learned the notes on the G string, which was page 26. So we're going to take a look at how to play the scale today, and you'll notice there's only 1 sharp in the key of G major. So that's just the F sharp. So as we're going up, C will be played natural, and it will only be the F that is sharped. Then we come down here onto the C string, and we have the really low notes. You'll notice there's no key signature here, just our bass clef. There's no key signature, so in the key of C major, there are no sharps or flats unless they are put in the music just for extra effects, which that does happen at times in the key of C. So just because you're playing in the key of C doesn't mean there won't ever be any sharps or flats. They might occur, they're just not in the key signature, they're just not part of the scale. So we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, all the way from the open string C to the 4th finger C on the G string, which is the same as this C over here. So we're going to take a look at how to play those. I'm going to show y'all pretty up close how to do all the fingering for that. Now what you can do, if you're more comfortable playing pizzicato than you are with your bow, then there's no need to bow these until later. So if you want to just play on pizzicato, that's just fine, because then you can focus more on your fingers, left hand technique, all of that. Okay, so we're going to start with the one we're most familiar with, which is the D major. So we're going to start on open D string, and we're just going to do long bows. And then we're going to go on E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and then D. Then we're going to go all the way back down, starting on the D, the D major scale. Now for G major, we're going to do that same finger pattern. We're just going to start bowing on the G string, or you can do it pizzicato as well. So you can be playing it like this. There's no problem with that, but I'll be demonstrating on the bow. So here we go on G, A, B, C, open D, E, F sharp, G, and then all the way back down. Starting on the C string, open C. Same finger pattern, so nothing new here. Okay, C, D, E, F, open G, A, B, and C. And then all the way back down. to get your intonation correct on the fourth finger when playing the C major scale, because these strings are so thick, they're very hard to get the finger down in the correct spot. So what may happen is you may land on the incorrect spot as you're actually playing the note. If you're bowing, you'll have plenty of time to move your finger back to where it goes. That shouldn't happen too often after you get used to it, but if you have really small pinkies, for example, if you have a pinky as tiny as mine, it will be pretty difficult for quite a long time. So you just have to really, really focus on it, and it will get easier, I promise. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay, so that's all your scales. Practice those daily, nice and slowly. Now you can find those in the book. Let's see, for page 19, exercise 64, it's given, the D major scale is given all the way up and all the way down 2 notes each. If that moves too quickly for you, you can do the version I just showed you using long bows and going nice and slowly. Now over here for the G scale, the scale is on page 27, and it actually gives you, it's exercise 98, it actually gives you half notes to practice with. So those are the 2 beat notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And it takes you all the way up the scale and then all the way back down the scale. So that one's good to work on. And then the page number for the C major scale is 36, and it's exercise 149. And that one also gives you half notes. Now what this one does, I'm going to demonstrate this one for y'all real quick. It starts on the 4th finger, so it's extra challenging. Okay, so make sure that you're on a 4th finger C, and it is so perfectly in tune that it's making the C string vibrate as well. See how you can see both of the strings vibrating there? But my bow doesn't touch the open one. It only touches this one. But if your 4th finger is perfectly in tune, it will also make this string vibrate as well because of the overtones. So you want to make sure that that one's completely in tune before you actually begin to play this C major scale. The C major scale actually goes backwards. So we're going to start on the C, go back to B, A, G, F, E, D, C, open C, and then all the way back up. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And both strings should be vibrating there if you're in tune. So really listen for intonation. Okay, so that's it for your lesson work. Now for your warm-up work, we still need to finish out tone study number 2. So just a quick reminder, on tone study number 1, that's your long bows. On open strings, you're going all the way down, all the way back up. Make sure you've mastered that before you move on to tone study number 2. Tone study number 2, phase 1, using the middle of your bow, bow lifts on open strings, down bow, and then up bow, down bow, up bow. And then phase 2, we do it in half, 1, 2, up bow, twice, on all 4 strings. And then phase 3, we use thirds. Now, I'm going to show you the last 3 fractions we're going to use on our bows. So previously we did half bow lifts and then third bow lifts. We're going to add in fourths, sixths, and eighths. Okay, so in fourths, just think in half, and then you're going to do a lift in the middle of each half. I'll demonstrate that. Okay, let's try this on G. So we have 1, 2, that gets you to the middle of your bow. 3, that gets you here. And then you start there. And your fourth one, you end at the tip. Then your tip goes on the string. 1, 2, that gets you to the middle of the bow. 3, and there's your lower fourth. 4, like that. And you want to do that across all 4 strings. Now for the sixths, you have your thirds, and then you do 1 lift in the middle of each third. So we have 1, 2, that gets you your first third done. 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're at the tip, and then all the way up. 1, 2, 3. 3 should get you to the very middle of your bow. 4, 5, 6, and then for eights, in half, and then twice in between. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 gets you to the middle. Then you keep going. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that one, I was too close down here. So that will happen. You'll just have to maybe start over in the middle, start at 4, and then try that again if it keeps happening to you. Sometimes as you're going up, it will be a lot harder than if you're going down. So that's it for this lesson. Going into the next lesson, we will be taking a look at eighth notes. So eighth notes are going to be the faster ones. This is going to be on page 20. And after you know how to do eighth notes, that gives you 3 notes that you know how to do. The quarter note, the half note, the one that's 2 beats, and then the eighth note, which is only half of a beat. So once you know those 3, you can play a lot of songs because that covers a lot of the basic rhythms. And coming up, I'm going to be showing y'all some different music books that y'all might want to try out for this level of your playing so that you can really practice these techniques on music that you enjoy. I know lesson books can get a little bit boring sometimes, so no worries. I will show y'all some different, I've got several different books in several different styles. You can find them all on Amazon or eBay, anywhere. Maybe sometimes even at book sales, bookstores and stuff. So y'all are gonna have a lot of fun. I just want to demonstrate how many different things you can actually play at this level. So a lot of students think that within the first book they can't play anything, you know, it's all just learning technique, but that's really not true. If you know three of those scales, you know, D major, G major, and C major, with those 3 scales and with these 3 note rhythms, you can play a lot of different tunes. And I'm going to introduce a few of those to y'all coming up soon, so don't miss out. All right, see y'all in the next lesson. Keep practicing.